Hello and welcome to Yasa TV. Welcome back to the channel. Pep Chavarria, all that, whatever it is, yeah. Here we go. He signed to Chelsea, you know what I'm saying? The 28-year-old Rayo Vallecano left back, or ex, you know what I'm saying? Rayo Vallecano left back will be joining Chelsea. And I think it's 90 million euros fixed fee plus 2 million euros in add-ons. First and foremost, before we get into it, make sure you're liking the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. What do you think? What kind of impact do you think he's gonna have for our season? And other than that, let's get into it. Do you know what I mean? Let's get into it now. This is the tweet we got like a couple of days ago. I don't think he's been announced yet. Obviously, Chelsea are playing in a pre-season game against AC Milan later today. So essentially what happened is I recorded this video a couple of days ago, but the video was corrupted, and I mean, which is why it never came out in the first place. But that's fine, we'll just go over it again. I know it's a little bit late, but I'll still give you my opinion. When it comes to Pep Chavarria, listen, you cannot go against having an extra, not necessarily body, but a player there experienced at the age of 28. So I don't have any problems with him turning up, especially with the little bit of a shaky start that Hato had in pre-season. But then again, it's pre-season. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's trying to understand the new system. Everyone's trying to understand what the manager wants him to do. I think Chavarria has been one of the most consistent left backs in La Liga. And I've seen his whole SOFA score rating and all that over the years. It's like 6.8 or whatever it is, essentially every season. So it's not a player that, you know, he consists. The only thing, whether you want to say the numbers low and all that, it's just, it kind of gives you an idea of his consistency. I have seen the comp. I think there's a little comp here somewhere in this one here, or one of these. Yeah, this one here. And to be honest, all of it is him just shooting. Now, listen, I've always wanted players that took more risks going forward. So that it's not really, you know what I'm saying, my issue there. But I want to see what this player is going to be able to do when it comes to defending. Do you know what I mean? That's my thing. Like, defensively, if we have a better unit defensively, we can build on that going forward. That's always been my thing. So I'm not necessarily that fussed about how great he is going forward. It's also about what he can do defensively. Now, when it comes to Pep Chavarria and his defensive contributions, right? Because a lot of people want to talk about defensive contributions. So with Pep Chavarria, his stats do show some good numbers. Yeah? Now, by the way, I just want to give you guys an idea of what kind of player he is. It doesn't mean that this is going to translate into what we see on the pitch every week. We hope it does, and we hope we see better than this. Now, this is just an idea of what, you know, the things he's done over the years, or what he's done specifically last season. So I'm not telling you, guys, the graph is going to be the thing that you're going to see every week. No, you know what I'm saying? He's coming to a different league. He's going to be playing with different players. We don't know if anything above Rayo Vallecano is too much of a step for him. We don't know any of those things. We hope that he achieves better than what we've seen on the numbers, right? I'm not telling you the numbers are facts, and I'm not telling you, look how amazing he is because of the numbers, but it's just to give you an idea of the kind of player he is. So it's good that he's at the age of 28. It's almost like we just kind of replaced Cucurella. Do you know what I mean? Like, it generally just feels like we replaced Cucurella. Now, fullback, we know he's a left back. 52nd percentile for crosses. Expected assists is 38 percentiles. Progressive passes completed 75th. Possession won 87th. Defensive duels won 93. 93rd percent, and obviously aerial duels 136. Progressive carries 91st, and a minutes played 2,000 980 minutes. Now, we could compare this to other fullbacks, yeah, just for the sake of it. 25, 26, or 25, 26, maybe even a Cucurella, 25, 26. And you could essentially see the difference or some of the things in between them. Surprisingly, Cucurella wins a lot of it compared to the rest of them. But the reason I do this sometimes, yeah, is if we've watched Lewis Hall last season, we've watched Cucurella essentially the whole season as well. And if you haven't really watched Pep Chavarria, yes, there might be things that you see in the games that you like, dislike, behaviors, whatever, right? But I'm looking at this in a way where it's like, oh, if I feel like Cucurella wins a lot of headers, you know what I'm saying? You see it here in his numbers. I've always felt like Cucurella does kind of win a lot of his headers, considering he's short. Yeah, whether he's crashing the box, which we've seen in Maresca's last season, or if you go back a little bit, so defensively here and there, he still wins his headers. A lot of the times you think, oh, Cucurella, he's short, but he still wins his headers, isn't it? Chavarria is better than all of them in carries, and to be honest, Lewis Hall's supposed to be someone that's very good in progressive carries. Crosses, Chavarria is ahead of all of them. And I feel like Cucurella could sometimes be doing more going forward when you had him, but this is another thing. Assists or expected assists. I don't know how that works, but that's one of them. Progressive passes. So that's usually just passing the ball forward, isn't it? The amount of times passing for. So Lewis Hall is ahead of that. And this is the thing. We played a lot of like a horseshoe football over the years, whether it's with Maresca. We haven't always really played very progressively, but I never felt like Cucurella was someone that didn't progress the ball as much. But this is the point. This is why I look at these things, because these are just numbers that have been put on a sheet and you get your idea here and there. Possession one, and this is where he excels the most, especially on these sides here. Defensive duels and possession one. And that's something we need as well. Winning possession and turning over possession. As in terms of winning possession and then going forward, isn't it? That's something that's very important to us. Maybe that's good for Hato as well. Hato coming in and Hato coming in and also kind of having someone not just about being better than him, but also someone that's experienced that he can learn from. I think that's something that's important. You know what I'm saying? Not just for the future of Hato, because people forget that Hato was 19, he's 20 or something now. So it's not like he's very old, but he needs more experience, maybe the know-how that he gets to learn from players that are more experienced, i.e. playing behind the Cucurella, playing behind the Chavarria. So all these things should be helping him. And hopefully we do see a better Hato. Whether he plays left-sided centre-back or whether it's in a 3 or it's a left-back, or even if it's a back 4 and he plays left-sided centre-back. For me, is playing wherever you see that suits him the most and where he can be more effective. That's all I care about. So, yeah. Pep Chavarria joins Chelsea. Like I said, I'm happy about the transfer in terms of what he can bring to the team. Being good defensively, like I said, is about our backline, is about our defense, is what we can offer. Is what because we need to find ways of solidifying our defense. Our defense has been poor in a long time. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of periods where he's good at heading the ball, but this guy isn't. But you don't always need everyone that's great at heading the ball. You need someone that's very good aerially as a centre back, and then maybe someone who's a ball playing centre back. Players that work together. It's a partnership. They all work for each other. It's almost like one's the left hand, one's the right hand. You can't do anything without the other. That's essentially what it is. They complement each other. And I feel like a lot of the times when we talk about what our teams can do, so sometimes we just think of names. If he is the right profile, he's the player that we need in this team. And we know that Xabi Alonso wanted this player. because of how much you push for him. This could also mean that it's the end of the road for something like a Lewis Hall, someone like a Lewis Hall, stuff like that. So look, if he helps us and he helps us throughout the season, and he's someone that's important to our defense, who then also ends up helping Hato, which is a player for the future, the current and the future, then that's great business. You know what I mean? Only 22 million or whatever it is, 21, 22 million. You get that and you keep it moving, in it. So anyway, big up to everyone. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Check out my latest Arsenal tier stream. I'm going to put that here as well. And also check out the Ronald Araujo video if you haven't already. Hey, this is going to be funny. Love for all the love. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Leave a comment down below. And I'm out.